Fresh, fresh, flex, fresh, 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 flex, fresh, fresh, hell my bless. I'm with God bless.
You cannot. Okay.
Holy Spirit,
They better do it, Lord.
Holy Spirit,
You better get them, Lord.
Holy Spirit,
Before I get them, Lord.
activate.
Hey.
Activate. Let's go. Holy Spirit, activate.
Oh no.
Holy Spirit, activate.
Okay.
Holy Spirit, activate.
Okay.
Activate.
Hey, hey,
Let's go.
they say I ain't saved cause I cuss a little bit. But you're the only judge that I need and that's it. They always in my business cause they say I backslid. They read the Holy Bible but they ain't applying it. So Holy Spirit activate. If you do it right now, that would be great. I ain't trying to smack this chick in the face. Don't you see me down here trying to change my way. So
Holy Spirit,
you better do it, Lord.
Holy Spirit,
You better get them, Lord.
Holy Spirit,
Before I get them, Lord.
activate.
Hey, hey, hey.
You cannot. Okay.
Holy Spirit,
They
activate.
better do it, Lord.
Holy Spirit,
You better get them, Lord.
Holy Spirit,
Before I get them, Lord.
activate.
Hey.
Activate. Let's go. Holy Spirit, activate.
Oh no.
Holy Spirit, activate.
Okay.
Holy Spirit, activate.
Okay.
Activate.
Hey, hey,
Let's go.
they say I ain't saved cause I cuss a little bit. But you're the only judge that I need and that's it. They always in my business cause they say I backslid. They read the Holy Bible but they ain't applying it. So Holy Spirit activate. If you do it right now, that would be great. I ain't trying to smack this chick in the face. Don't you see me down here trying to change my way. So
Holy Spirit,
you better do it, Lord.
Holy Spirit,
You better get them, Lord.
Holy Spirit,
Before I get them, Lord.
activate.
Hey, hey, hey.
Hi. Hi. Hello, everyone. Hello. Oh my goodness. Welcome back to your boy, the Sean Davy Way Show. I hope you all are having a wonderful day. Good morning, afternoon, evening, night, wherever you are. Welcome. So, I am here and I'm queer, and we're going to talk about Tyree Nichols. So we haven't really talked much about this yet. We've been really busy with other content, but we're going to start talking about Tyree. We're going to start covering his story and what happened to him. We're going to fit it into other topics. I think I'm going to do like some justice topics, and I'm going to, for people that need justice. So like Shanquella and Tyree, I think I'm going to start fusing the two topics together. So bird food diary, no. No. Y'all talk about some Miss Movies and Coffee. Girl, look, pay attention to the show. Girl, I love you. Hi, Faith. Hello. Hello, Shriek and Sharon. Oh my God, I love you. Belle, no. Natasha, why can't y'all just focus on the show? Okay, this not about me, girl. Okay, fine. Hold on. Let me grab my hat. Like, y'all, oh God. Okay, never just. Why can't I have the camera off? Oh my goodness. Baby shade, girl. Oh, y'all always gotta, like, y'all do this. Y'all do this. Y'all do, what you saying? Thank you for, Marie, girl. Oh my God. I just sometimes, like, I can't do nothing. Y'all is spoiled. Y'all, you people are spoiled. Okay? Now I get this is a shame. Y'all worse than my churn. I don't know who worse. Y'all or my kids. Now this is about Tyree. Now rest in peace. R.I.P. to Tyree. It's not about me. That's what that word. Okay. Oh my God. Okay, fine. Now that I'm okay, because I was all prepared to not be on camera. And you're like, come on camera. Fine. Okay. So I love y'all. I love you all. Thank you for your continuous support. Okay. We are going to be doing like justice segments. And I want to fuse, like I was saying earlier, Tyree with Shanquella and others that need justice so we can implement and push as much energy as we can to a lot of people's stories, just instead of specific people. Okay. Everybody deserves justice. That an injustice has happened too. So we need to push the energy for everyone, not just the more popular stories. There's plenty of stories that aren't getting the spotlight, that aren't getting the attention. And with people like us, when we give the attention, people like you run with what we've shared so that the story gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, so that people can get the justice that they deserve, because a lot of stories are forgotten about. A lot of people are forgotten. But we're not going to let that happen. So shout out to all of you. I love you all. And yeah, so we're going to get into Tyree. We absolutely are. So it's a very sad story, very sad case, and what happened to Tyree. So yeah, so we're going to definitely get into that. So I wanted to talk about this rumor that is going around about Tyree and one of the police officers and allegedly dating someone that is affiliated with them, whether wife, girlfriend, whatever. So I want to get into that. Please hit the like, please hit the like, please hit the like, please hit the like. Okay. Please, 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 please. So Tyree Nichols was pulled over by Memphis police. And we'll just get into the story, and then we will go from there. So on Friday evening, this happened. Well, this story was published on January 30th. And so on Friday evening, Memphis officials released video footage of the violent arrest of Tyree Nichols, a 29-year-old black male who passed away 3 days after being severely beaten during a traffic stop. The young man's death has caused deep pain for the Nichols family and has sparked a citywide scandal. 5 Memphis police officers involved in the stop were fired last week and now face murder charges. Now, one thing I want to say about this, I'm glad that the 5 police officers that were involved in this were fired. That's deserved. That should have definitely happened. The only issue that I have with this is the only issue that I have with these police officers getting arrested immediately is that in other cases, when this happens with white police officers and things in that nature, it takes a lot. It takes a lot. It really does. It takes for us to set police stations on fire and things of that nature. For the George Floyd case, Breonna Taylor, how long it took with the constant protest on a day-to-day basis, just for anything to happen to those men. But then these 5 black officers, this happens, and then instantly, oh, yep, they're fired. Let's arrest them. It's like we ain't even got to do nothing. I guess we could just sit in the house. I guess it ain't even a brief us to protest or anything like that, because they quick to throw our people away. I'm like, oh, weird. But y'all want to find all type of ways to justify when y'all people do it. You know, y'all wanted to find all type of ways to justify Derek Chauvin and what he did to George Floyd. Everything he did was routine. That's how they're trained. That's how they're this. That's how they're that. But then these men do this to Tyree, and then instantly, let's fire him. Let's arrest him. So this ain't gonna take much work at all to get justice for Tyree. We might as well just move on, is what it's giving. And because y'all ready to do everything, hang them. That's off with his head, like immediately. But when it's one of y'all people Yeah, it take everything. Girl, we got to get in the streets. We got to unite as a community and all get together. We got to stay outside all night, miss work, all type of stuff, miss getting our children to school, and we got to do all of that. You know, we got to take days off, works in the streets silent, even when we peaceful. Y'all still tear gassing us and some macing us, and all of just because we sitting down with a sign. Y'all walk, y'all want to walk and do all of that to us. These 5 officers did it. Lock them up. Throw away the key. But then we have to go through trial and error. We have to riot, loot, protest, all of that for y'all people. All of that for y'all people. Dante, his life was ended. The officer thought she pulled out her taser and she pulled out her weapon. And y'all want to say, oh, well, he took a life. He had altercation with somebody. He took that out. Or he pop-out somebody. What? Y'all finding reasons, finding ways to justify her. The officer in Texas that walked into that black man's home, the wrong apartment. She thought she was going into her own, walked in there and pop-out him. Y'all finding ways for his family. They all incorporating her hair, hugging her. Y'all slap on the wrist. And what she get 5 years at that? So, but then with these men, let's give them life in prison. Let's give them 80 years. Let's remove them from anything police wise. Get rid of the badges. No affiliation. We want no affiliation with them. Right? So they made all of that happen. Normally in court, they're not letting people braid hair and all of that stuff, especially with victim towards the accused. But since she was a white woman, oh, she wasn't a threat. Oh no, she's fine. Oh, let them braid her hair. Let them do that. Let them do that. The white girl the other day on the plane, she freaks out because her boyfriend dumps her on the flight. She going nuts. They assist her. But Jaguar, right? She has an issue in the airport and this, oh, you're banned. You're not coming through here. You're not. But she can sit on a plane, basically push the steward. Jaguar didn't put her hands on nobody. That white girl did. She put her hands on 2 stewardess, not 1, 2. And then tried to attack the boyfriend, the one that just dumped her. She tried to attack him. That's fine. Oh, we need to get, she just got dumped. We gotta, but Jaguar, she no fly list. She can't do nothing airport wise. But I guarantee you, that white girl that just did what she did, I bet you she can fly. I bet you she can fly. Why she ain't on no flight list? Why didn't the agent that be on the plane? Why he ain't jump up with a weapon and point out? Why folk come? Because that would happen to Jaguar if she was on that flight doing all of that. Absolutely, yeah. They would have arrested her, pushed her down to all of that. All of that. But it's fine, that this white woman is up irate. Jaguar was irate. She was all right. Now, Jaguar may have said certain things, but she didn't put her hands on anybody. I would rather you say something than touch me. The white girl was touching people, literally pushing other employees of the airlines, but she's not banned. She's not on the no-fly, and I looked. Thank you, yeah, the air marshal. Thank you, Belle. The air marshal. Why folk come? He ain't jump up. He ain't none of that. He just sat there. Oh, she's white. She'll be fine. She's no threat. But let that have been somebody black or Hispanic or Asian, or something like that. Oh, we got to get rid of them. They have the this and that. They sick. They expose them to everybody. Like they find reasons. So it's the same thing with these officers. Do I feel that they should have been fired? All 5 officers? Yes, they should have been fired. They all need to be arrested, which they are. And they need to pay for what they did. And they definitely will. So, but I just find it weird how quick they acted when it came to these 5 men. But when it comes to if these were 5 white men, oh, they would have found every reason in the world. Oh, he was doing this, he was doing that. There was a weapon, or he tried to reach for a weapon, or he tried to this, or he tried. They will find any reason to justify themselves. But when it comes to us, is yep, they did it. Yep, arrest them, fire them, all of that. How long did it take us to get Derek Chauvin where he's at? He was still working, and they were still protecting him the whole time. Even put him in a different prison and whatnot so that he wasn't placed in prison here. Like, they protected him. But they just throw these men to the wolves. You don't think these 5 black men have arrested plenty of people? They're not being isolated. They're not being in a gym pop. They riding gym pop with everybody else. So all of the men that they've apprehended and put behind bars, you know, and whatnot, are right there willing to get their payback. Now we equals. Now we equals. So yeah, people are definitely going to take that out on them. And then for what they did to Tyree. So yeah, it's going to be a problem. But Derek gets protection. He gets isolated, basically his own cell. You know, honestly, he ain't got to worry about nobody doing nothing to him. But these black men did gym pop. Oh, okay, hair flip. So I just found that weird. So, but let's keep going. So the 5 Memphis police officers involved in the stop were fired last week and now face murder charges. Former President Donald Flamin' Hot Trump has described the fatal beating as horrible and says it never should have happened. Body camera footage of the ordeal was released by the city at 7 p.m. Eastern Time on Friday. The video showed officers dragging Nichols from his car and firing a taser weapon at him before he fled the scene on foot. Why? Okay. Why was Nichols stopped? The Memphis Police Department initially said Nichols was pulled over around 8:30 p.m. local time for reckless driving. As officers approached the driver of the vehicle, a confrontation occurred, and the suspect fled the scene on foot. Police said at the time, officers pursued the suspect and again attempted to take the suspect into custody. While attempting to take the suspect into custody, another confrontation occurred. However, the suspect was ultimately apprehended. Police leadership later walked back those claims. I'm going to be honest with you about the stop itself. What was said was there was witnessing of what was considered reckless driving. Police Chief, is it Cyrilin Davis, told CNN on Friday, "We've looked at cameras, we've looked at body-worn cameras. Even if something occurred prior to the stop, we've been unable to substantiate it." So here's the thing. So if they can't prove why all of this happened in the first place, then again, all of it is considered murder, if you ask me. Okay, because it's just reckless driving. So if he was reckless, which he could have just been driving a little faster or turning the curb too fast, turning the corner, been in the corner too fast, something like that, and they view it as reckless. Or somebody at a stop or crosswalk and he flew past, and they could have been hurt or something, depending on what they saw. They're calling it reckless driving. So with them pulling him over for reckless drive, initially they said there was a confrontation during the initial stop. So after the confrontation is when he fled, because only they know. Once they caught him, apprehended him, there was another confrontation. So why does there keep being like, what's the problem? Like, I feel like Tyree ran because he didn't feel safe. I do feel that way. You got 5 police officers walking up on you. What? Like, it take 5 of y'all because I bent the corner? It's give me my ticket, let me walk away. But y'all want him to get out of the car and all of that for what? For what? I'm the same way with police officers. Now, I'm not going to literally pull myself into trouble to where I'm trying to combat them and go back and forth. But if you're pulling me over because of a tail light or a brake light out, or I missed the stop sign or something like that, there's no reason for me to exit my vehicle. And honestly, as a black man, I don't feel comfortable exiting my vehicle either. I don't. I just want to go home. Like, that's it. If you're going to ticket me, do so. There's no reason for me to get out of my vehicle. You're not pulling me over and you smell a bunch of marijuana and stuff coming out of my car and I'm sitting here putting something out. Ain't none of that going on. So there's no reason to search my vehicle, come into my vehicle. For what? Like, why? I'm not a known dealer. I don't have any priors. I don't have any of that stuff. There's no reason for you to search my car. You're not about to profile me. You're not about to do that. I'm not going to let that happen. So the most I will do, because you got to show these people better than you can tell. I mean, better than you can tell. Hair flip. The most I'll do when a police officer pulls me over, I roll my window down, and I don't roll it all the way down. I do not. I don't. I roll it down low enough so that I can hear them and they can hear me. And I keep my door locked. I keep it locked. That's it. My license are good. I have insurance. End of story. That's it. You pulling me over because of something that I did while driving, I can stay in the vehicle for that. You're not pulling me over because you feel like I'm intoxicated, or anything like that. Now that, okay, I'll get out of the car. If you want me to walk a line to show you that I'm sober, things like that, fine. I don't have an issue with that. But when it comes to exiting my vehicle just because of a simple traffic violation or traffic stop, I don't need to get out of my car. Like, for what? Traffic stops mean ticket. So give it to me so I can be on my way. Like, it's that simple. So I will roll my window down. I absolutely will. And I don't roll it down all the way. And my car doors lock automatically, but I'll hit lock just to make sure. I don't want them nowhere near me. I do not trust police. I don't. And it's unfortunate, but I don't trust police at all. So I'm not giving them the opportunity to hurt me or none of that. I'm not giving them the opportunity. So with me rolling my window down, I can put my license outside of the car low enough so I can handle my license and my insurance. That's all you need. There's nothing else that you need from me. Go ahead, go run it. There ain't no warrants over that, nothing. I don't have no priors. I'm on probation. I'm on parole. I can do what I want, go where I want, when I want. So I'm gonna keep doing that. Okay, if I was speeding, that's fine. Ticket me. I will pay it. End of story. I don't need to get out of my car to do any of those things at all. So, and a police officer cannot, because it's going to show. First off, you got the body cam, and then on top of that, you're going to have to pull me out of my, like, if you open the door, get out of the car, get out of the car. I'm gonna say no. I'm like, there's no reason for me to get out of my vehicle. I don't have any weapons or anything like that. I'm not a threat. I'm not threatening you. I just want to go home, and I do not trust law enforcement. I do not whatsoever. And you're not helping. You're definitely not helping. So, but you have my license, you have my insurance. Whatever I did, please ticket me so I can leave. Like, I do not want to stay here. I am not under arrest, and you're not going to treat me like I am. I am not. So go and handle that. Go run what you feel like you need to run, and then bring it back so I can be on my way. Whatever ticket, whatever you got, cool. I'm fine with that. So if they start pulling on your door or anything like that, call the police. Call the police, because I've done it. I absolutely have. It was a long time ago. But yeah, I called the police on the police. I absolutely did. I sure did. Yes, I have an officer that is pulling me over for a traffic stop. I handed him my license. I handed him my insurance. Everything is valid. There's no reason for me to exit my vehicle. I am not intoxicated. I'm not pulled over for being intoxicated. None of those things. Can you please send another officer on the scene? Like, make a scene. Like, I absolutely would. Make a scene. Absolutely. Because I promise you, because that officer pretty much let me go after that. After I called the police. I'm like, well, no, shouldn't I stay here and wait for the police? Like, no, because I called somebody else other than you. So I'm sitting here and I'm going to wait for them. I turned my vehicle off, all of that. And I just sat there and waited for the police. Because he pulled off and then stopped, went around the corner, turned, and then came and parked across the street. Oh. When the officer came, I wrote down that I got that officer's badge number, all of that stuff. I sure did. Like, this is what we're not about to do, play games. Like, we are not. So again, you do not have to open your door or none of that stuff. You do not, unless they have probable cause. And if it's them thinking you're drunk, or inebriated, intoxicated, that's a reason to get out of your vehicle. If it's late at night and you're tired and you swerve on the road or something like that, then yeah, I feel like that is a reason to get out of your vehicle, just to make sure, because you never know. You know, it's late, so you out and about, you swerving, all of this. Have you been drinking? Just because you can't smell it doesn't mean that the person isn't intoxicated or has been drinking. So yeah, I'll walk a line and all of that stuff, but I'll ask the officer, can I just walk my line and show you that I'm sober or whatever you ask me to do for the sobriety test? And can I get right back into my vehicle after that? I have no reason to be out here after proving to you that I'm sober. Like, I ask these questions, you know, so there's own body cam, you know, all that stuff that protect yourself. And especially if something happened, you will get justice. And based off what they show on that cam, that will provide set justice. So yeah, I just don't feel like that was cool. And then I was just about to say that, Tinks, they literally pulled him out of his vehicle. It's a traffic stop. There's no reason for him to get out of his car. For what? This is not, you pulled him over for drunk driving or none of that. You pulled him over because he drove fast smoking or something like that, because you still aren't supposed to be smoking green and stuff like that while driving. You're not supposed to be doing it. Now, you could do it before, and no different than drinking. You can't drink and drive. Now you could have a drink or two, you know, a beer or two before and still be able to drive home. And sometimes, depending on how low your intoxication level is, they'll still let you go. You know, sometimes be like, well, it's a little bit, but you ain't drunk. You're not drunk, you know, or anything. You know. So here, flip. So, you know, there was no reason for Tyree to exit the vehicle. Even more reason to why I understand why he ran. Because I would have ran too. It's like when you are afraid, you run. It's not like they tried to pull him over and he kept going like this was a high-speed chase. It wasn't a high-speed chase. Listen, hi, Mel Cruz, I love you. This wasn't a high-speed chase. It wasn't. So clearly he stopped. He stopped his vehicle. They approached. And when they approached, that's when a confrontation happened. And I believe the confrontation was them telling him to get out of the vehicle. It's like, get out of the car for what? Like, what do I need to get out of the car for? What did I do that I need to get out of the car for? Here's my license. Here's my insurance. You said it's a traffic violation. Cool. You ticket people for that. You're not about to arrest me for a traffic violation. I can run a lot right now. You're not going to arrest me unless I don't have a license or insurance, things like that. Then yeah, but I have those things. I can legally drive. So I get to legally break traffic laws, meaning that I won't be arrested for it. Like I will be ticketed for it. I miss a stop sign. That ain't no, I'm not going to jail for that. Like, no. Here, flip. Like, yeah, no, I'm not going to jail. So I do feel that he was targeted by those men. Somebody in that crew knew him and did not like him. Somebody had a problem in that crew with Tyree. Because why is the confrontation breaking out? Why is there a confrontation at all? It's a traffic stop. Why are 5 officers walking up on him? It takes 5 people. Now I see 2. The other one's gonna hung back because I've seen people pulled over before and there'll be another squad car. But the police will be sitting in the squad car. Like they won't be outside of it because it's like, for what? Like there's no reason. You know, sometimes police will sit there and be backup for just in case something happens because you just never know. So, but it doesn't take 5 people, like 4. Like, why? Why folk come? Y'all wasting tax dollars because you 3 could be elsewhere, you know, but y'all over here for what? Like, so that's intimidating. So I get why he ran. Honestly, I mean, just you got 5 niggas. And then they all basically aggressive, super aggressive. And, you know, so he was scared, like probably for his life, you know, at that moment in time, like an officer threatening you with a different type of threat. That's not somebody on the streets just says something to me. No, that's completely different. So, yeah, I feel like they did this deliberately. This was personal. Someone felt some type of way in that crew, and I feel that other people just backed him. You know, no different than like a Shanquella situation. It wasn't all of them, from what it seems, that were doing that to her. It was one person, but the other people standing around recording all of that. You're backing it, you know, by watching it. These officers literally got involved. Like they got involved, the other 4. You know, like they did this different. You know, what Shanquella was just more so just Dejanay. But in this case, the other ones, like 5, that video is horrendous. I don't encourage anybody to watch it. Like it literally made me, like my hands already like kind of I already have this like nervous shake from when I was a kid. But it's very unsettling. It's hurtful to watch. You see somebody literally fighting for their life. It's like, and these are by people that are supposed to protect us. You know, police officers are supposed to be like low-key superheroes. You know, firemen are low-key like superheroes. These are people that actually save lives, you know, people that protect, serve and protect. That when if anybody's doing anything to you, they will help you. No different than like a superhero. They help everybody. If a purse being snatched, here comes Spider-Man and getting the purse back. You know, so it's supposed to you're supposed to feel a sigh of relief seeing police not being afraid or having this super nervous feeling about it. Somebody said, oh, okay, Pete, hi, Fish King Pain is here. Oh my god, I love you, friend. I love you, Fish King Pain. And so yeah, so I just feel like it's crazy. That just poor guy. So the police officers or the police chief or Cyril Davis told CNN on Friday, we looked at cameras, we've looked at body worn cameras. Even if something occurred prior to the stop, we've been unable to substantiate it. We've taken a pretty extensive look to determine what the probable cause, and we have not been able to. So again, this was personal. They want, I'm not even gonna say all of them knew Tyree. All it takes is one. That's all it takes. That's it. And they intimidated him deliberately. This was on purpose. This was no accident. Like this wasn't just a random stop with a random person and this just randomly happened. Well, all of them putting their hands on him speaks volumes. Now, all of them trying to arrest him. Literally, someone had him tased. Then all the others were like literally putting their hands on him. Literally. It's like this poor man. It's like, why? If you're tasing him, why are you putting your hands on him? Y'all kicking him. All of that. You do that to people you know or know of. Somebody you've been looking for. That's not somebody you don't to just a random stranger. Tyree did not attack anyone. Tyree did not put his hands on any of those officers. Tyree did not threaten anyone. He didn't do any of those things. So why is this happening? So you can't make it like, because I get the rumor that's going around about allegedly he was dating one of the officer's wife or girlfriend, you know, or something like that. But it's just like, even if so, does it warrant all of this? Y'all literally tasing him, stumping him, punching him, macing him. Why? I'm like, this poor man. The video is sickening. If you haven't watched it, I would not encourage it. Just because we need to stop normalizing seeing people lose their life. This is not a movie. Okay, this isn't a TV show. This is actuality. Okay, so watching something like that and being okay with watching it mentally means that you'll keep watching because we're so desensitized to it. So that's why I said I wouldn't encourage it. If I was not doing commentary on it, I would not have watched it because I didn't. And that's why I was staying away from it, because I had heard about, you know, what had happened to him. I'm just like, this is horrible. Horrible. Even if he did, I say if he got out of the car and fled immediately, it still wouldn't have warranted what happened. It would not have. So with them not being able to find any probable cause, even the police chief herself, not being able to find any probable cause into why this happened during this traffic stop, that means that it was premeditated. That means that not that they were literally out looking for him. It was more so of a, there he is, or ran his plates as he was driving recklessly. Like, oh, that's somebody in that unit knew him. They knew him and they had a problem with him and they wanted to handle it. And they did just that. So yeah, I don't know what the actual reason was. And, you know, maybe one of them will tell it, but I don't know. I just know that it's mortifying, literally. She added, it doesn't mean that something didn't happen, but there's no proof. So again, the police chief is saying, well, it doesn't mean anything didn't happen. We just don't have any proof. So that means that nothing happened. You have body cameras and all of that. Body cams are recording the whole time. Stop it. This was personal. Yeah, you tried it. Stop it. The body cameras record from start to finish. Okay, so with the start to finish, police chief, you would definitely have seen the reason why even him fleeing did not warrant what happened to him. Them tasing him, beating him, macing him, and then all at the same time. It's like you have him on the ground. Not only is he on the ground, y'all could have been arrested him. There was no cuffs out, none of that. All fists and feet. They had no intentions of arresting him. And then why beat him that badly? Do everything that y'all did to him and not get medical attention to him immediately? How badly what y'all did to him? He wasn't walking, none of that after that. Then y'all still want to arrest him and put... I'm like, yeah, this was brutal. This is on a whole nother level. On a whole nother level. I don't like it. I just this is... And then with the police officers, the chief stating that, oh, well, there's no extra proof. So we can't say nothing happened, but there's no proof of it. There's your proof right there. Not only were there body cams, there's street cameras. There's also other people around that witnessed said injuries happen to Tyree. No, there's no, besides, I don't know if one of them, but they knew him. One or two, that's all it takes. To have known him for that to have happened to him. But this was not a simple traffic stop of them pulling over a stranger. No, absolutely. Because they pulled over people before. Why they didn't do that to them? Why Tyree? Why? I believe the confrontation that had happened had nothing to do with the traffic stop. I believe that's why Tyree ran, out of fear. Out of fear. Because why pull over if you gonna run? I just don't get that. He didn't have any warrants. He didn't have any of that. They were not arresting him, taking him to jail. Like, there was no reason for him to go to jail. I mean, I guess you could probably detain him for fleeing from an officer. I mean, I guess that's possible. But again, there was a confrontation before the fleeing. And the confrontation didn't have anything to do with, well, he don't have a license, or he don't have insurance, and whatnot. So he took off running. Or he has a warrant, so he took off running. Stuff like, no, that confrontation had nothing to do with why he ran. I mean, the traffic stop. I don't believe that, because it's just as simple as giving him a ticket. It's just as simple as giving him a ticket. That's all that is. That's all that were. That's all that were. They don't want to give him a ticket. They wanted to hurt him, because that's what they did. They hurt him. Okay. But let's keep going. The Nichols family is also skeptical of the police version of events. They state, their quote, "We don't know anything other than what we got to see in the video," Ben Crump, attorney for Nichols family, said on Friday during a press conference. "They say he was driving recklessly. We have to see it. We certainly can't take their word for it. We do not know is what we do know is, I'm sorry, I'm trying to speed through this because it's a lot. What we do know is that after the stop began, police and Nichols engaged in some kind of physical altercation. At one point, Nichols fled the police. Again, this clearly states that this is a confrontation that has nothing to do with this traffic stop. Because they got physical with him. Because if they have him on camera getting, especially body cam, which they don't, him getting physical with that officer, it will make complete sense into why this escalated. But it doesn't make sense because a simple traffic stop violation has why? And then why did the altercation happen and then it get physical? That's personal. You know this person. You know him. You have to. Because what is there a confrontation for anyway? And then you pull him out of the car for what? Okay, he was driving reckless. So we yanking people out of cars and stuff because they bend the corners? That don't even make sense. What does make sense is that you knew him or knew of him, have had some type of issue with him. And because you are the police, you feel like you can take the law outside of your hands, that you can do, you're God because you have on a badge. So I can do whatever I want to you. I'm the law. I got you now. You know, you may have gotten away before, but not this time. I got you. Oh, remember this? It sounds like something that there was definitely a verbal exchange before the physical exchange. And if he was trying to fight the police, this is another point. If he was trying to fight the police, why would he run? Why would he stand there and get his ones if that's what he was doing? If he hauling off on officers? Mm-mm. I feel like he ran because this officer just assaulted him, and there's not much he can do. Like, this is the police. And it's 5 of them. And they all want me. They all got the bullseye on my back. So I feel like he ran because he was probably petrified. Because, I mean, what do you do if an officer hits you? I mean, you may feel like a reaction to hit, but it's like, this is the police. If I do something to them, I'm going down. Or if I put my hands on them, they got the right to basically end my life. So why that doesn't even make sense. I'm just like, yeah, no. They did this to this man deliberately. This was on purpose and it was personal, is what this is giving. 100%. Now, coochie run the world. It absolutely do. I don't know what is in vagina, okay? But it's powerful. All right? Okay? Vagina done made countries separate. Okay? All over a damn woman. Okay? So I don't know exactly what's in it, but it's wonderful. Okay? It's an amazing thing. Okay? The vagina is a majestical creature. Okay? It can do all type of stuff. All right? So, but it still doesn't warrant this. So like I said before, say that it is true that it was a woman that was involved. Does it warrant what happened to Tyree? It does not. It absolutely does not. So, but let's keep going. So, police dispatch audio obtained by Fox 13 captures officers saying, "We have one black male running," while the other tape obtained by CBS News records another officer official saying he's fighting at this time. All told, according to the MPD, 2 different altercations occurred between Nichols and the officers over the course of the stop, the latter taking place just blocks from Nichols' home. After the stop, Nichols was hospitalized and photographed with severe bruising and cuts. He eventually died on January 10th. An outside autopsy showed his body underwent extensive bleeding. Attorneys for the Nichols family said the video of the encounter shows officers viciously beating Tyree. He was a human piñata for the police officers. Attorney Antonio Romanucci said of the video, "It is appalling, it is deplorable, it is heinous," Mr. Crump, another attorney for the family, said. So I couldn't agree more. It was definitely heinous. There's a super sticker. Shout out to Boom. Is it Twilight? Twilight? I hope I'm saying that right. But thank you so much for the super sticker. I love you. Thank you. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. And y'all can also cash out me too. Y'all know that they take 40% of my little $2 and gonna give me number 10 cent, girl. Now, girl, I could have used that little $2, girl. Now I like that girl. Girl, that $2 could have went on something. Now YouTube done took 40% of my $2, girl. Here, flip. But thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you. So this was an utter mess. Let's get into, because there's a lot. And we're definitely going to come back later. I'm going to do a part 2, and we're going to keep going because I have to go get my son from school soon. Okay, right here. Let's get into this one. So here's the photograph of Tyree. in the hospital. Okay. Wow. Mm. This poor man in here fighting for his life. Look how swollen he is, because Tyree's a pretty thin male. He was a thin male. Oh, look at what they did to this man. His family had to sit there for 3 days and watch him slowly but surely leave them all over. Who knows? Who knows? It's like, how can y'all look at this man on the ground after doing what y'all did to him and still like basically feel like you need to arrest him? And I'm like, y'all literally took his life. And y'all would have just went on about your lives like nothing happened. But the community got involved, and with them getting involved, they already know. Because the protests and stuff that were already going on, things are just going to get worse in Memphis before they ever got better. And I feel like they want to hurry up and do damage control by arresting them and throwing them away because they're black men. So whatever, like get rid of them, throw away the key, lock them up, throw away the key. So I just, I couldn't imagine this poor family getting there and finding out that all of this happened because he did nothing. He didn't do nothing to nobody. Even if he did do something personal, what warrants this? What warrants this? And the video is just, it's just too much. It's just too much. This man is fighting for his life in this video. It's like, it's worse than George Floyd. Worse than George Floyd. I mean, and then it was hard for him to even cry out, you know, with being maced and tased. And I was like, what a horrible way to go. And that's the last thing he remembers. The last thing he saw was these 5 men viciously hurting him, his own people. His own people, 5 of his own people doing this to him. Literal public torture. This was all deliberate. None of this was no accident. Okay? This is just, oh, shout out to TMs for the super sticker. Thank you so much, sweetie. Thank you so much for the super sticker. Shout out to Belle Nix. She said that too. Yes, they did. They absolutely did. It's a Fahim says they broke his jaw. He couldn't say no. The video alone makes me super emotional. It makes me want to cry. It's hard to watch the video and not cry. Like it's really hard because it's like you feel for him, like you really do. And then we always place ourselves in situations. So I could not imagine going through something like that. It's just like you just driving along, minding your business, and then just boom. And just boom. Like this happens. And then that is just it. You know, and that's just it. So with there being a confrontation before, I do feel that it was something of personal. It was. It had to be, because they pulled over people before. Why didn't they do this to somebody else? They didn't, because they were strangers. They're simply just pulling them over for traffic violations. Tyree did not get pulled over for that. He did not. And they can try to use that as their defense, but it's, again, you need probable cause for these actions to have happened. So even if Tyree says something verbally, if it was not a threat, which even if he did threaten you, then again, with the tasing, after that, he should have been arrested immediately. There was no reason for the stomping, the macing, the kicking him in his face and head and all. None of that. That's all personal. Even if I am an officer and somebody upsets me, if it gets to the point, like you've seen when officers are trying to apprehend people and they get physical with them, you see those officers get physical back, but they get to the point of arresting them. They're not stomping them and kicking them in the, they're not doing, and it's not multiple officers, especially. If anything, it's just that officer and that person, You know, if you get physical with an officer, they have the right to do what they need to do to apprehend you, whatever that will be. If they got to break arms and legs and stuff like that, hey, if they break real out, oh well, and the doctor bill's still gonna be on you. Like it just is what it is. But what happened to Tyree? There is no reason for it. With the body cams, the cameras from the street, it shows nothing of why this happened. Why this happened. With George Floyd, he did not want to be in the back of a squad car. Claustrophobic, you know, he didn't want, you know, like being in tight space, you know, so, you know, so we knew why it got to the point of where it still should have happened, but we know why. You know, it's not George Floyd went in there to legislate a counterfeit bill or a check or something like that, and then they came and put their knee on his neck. That's not what happened. So, but with Tyree, we have no idea. It's just, if he got out of the car and ran, still a little bit more understandable, but that didn't happen. They ripped him from the vehicle. They took him out of the vehicle. So there was already an altercation. It was already a problem. And that altercation got physical. And that's when he ran. And I feel like he ran out of fear. Like, I would be afraid too. It's like, these are police. Like, these are police. Like, what do you do? What do you do? Crazy. I saw someone said that he is out on bail, or they're out on bail. Not, I think one of them is still incarcerated. I don't know. Did the final one just get out? Because I know 4 had gotten out. They're out on bail. I know 4 of them had gotten out, but there was still one that was still in there. I don't know if he just couldn't make bail, or what. But I know one was still in there, but he may have gotten out. 3/4 says Miriam. So yeah, they definitely did. Waffle come, no video of reckless driving. And then even good point, the lovely one, because even on the street camera footage, it does not show reckless driving. It does not show that. So how y'all know what was he reckless driving? What do you have, like, powers? Like, was he reckless driving before he got into the area to check, like? And no other cop had called in, hey, just saw this car, this color, ... reckless driving. They're headed in this direction, ... None of that happened. Nothing. There was no, someone called the police because the person in the color car like this, ... is reckless driving. They were in this. None of that. None of that. So the reckless driving, you want to know what the reckless driving is, the lovely one? The reckless driving is the alcohol poisoning. You know how the Cabo 6, the evil Cabo 6, tried to say that Shanquella passed away from alcohol poisoning, and that really wasn't the reason? It's the same thing in this case. Reckless driving is not the reason Tyree lost his life. It is not. So in the Tyree Nichols situation, reckless driving is no different than them trying to state that Shanquella Robinson had alcohol poisoning. It is literally, they need an excuse for it to be explained and why this person passed away, which again, even if he was reckless driving, it does not warrant what happened. A ticket, or citation, that's the most that should have happened. Not all of that. None of that even makes sense. And it doesn't even make sense to even the chief of police. The chief of police said, even with body cameras, street cameras, we still have no probable cause. But it doesn't mean that, you know, just because we have no evidence don't mean that there was an altercation. No, it means exactly that. Because what? The body cams record the whole time. All that matters is from the time they pulled him over to the time to where they start putting their hands on him. That's all that matters. That's it. The footage of them hurting and harming him, that came from the police footage. Not a camera on the street, not somebody standing there recording what they found. No. We got an up-close personal view of all of them hurting this man. All of them. And differently. Feet, tasers, mace, multiple different ways that they are hurting this man. Multiple. Breaking bones in the process. Literal. That was a public torture. They tortured him because it was just too much. It was an over KILL. It was just too much. And it doesn't explain it. It doesn't. So the police got their work ahead of them. Right. No honor among men. None. Like, just crazy. Like, this is such a sad situation. So now we ain't reading all of this, but we will get into this, and then I am going to come back with part 2 in like 3 hours, and then that live will be a lot longer because we're gonna break down some other stuff. So let's get into actually, let's do this. Oh, this is so sad. Is this it? Right here. So he was just buried. He just had a funeral. So we're going to get into the coverage of the funeral real quick, and then I'm going to come back later with the rest of my commentary.
In an emotional service, Stephanie's funeral for Tyree Nichols, laid to rest. In an emotional service, Stephanie Ramos has the latest from Memphis, the city reeling after this young father's death after the brutal police beating. Good morning, Stephanie.
Michael, good morning. Family, friends, and civil rights leaders gathered right here in Memphis to remember Tyree Nichols. Through tears, his mother saying she will always remember her son as a beautiful person.
Overnight, the family of Tyree Nichols laying the 29-year-old to rest 3 weeks after he died following a brutal police beating captured on disturbing video.
I see the world showing him love and fighting for his justice. But all I want is my baby brother back.
The service filled with scripture, powerhouse songs, and calls for accountability. His family reflecting on who he was, a loving father who enjoyed skateboarding and sunsets.
Tyree was a beautiful person. And for this to happen to him, it's just unimaginable.
In the congregation, family members of George Floyd, Eric Gardner, and Breonna Taylor, all of whom died at the hands of police. Also, Vice President Kamala Harris supporting the family, hand-delivering a letter from President Biden. The president writing in part, "The love you have for Tyree, that love will be the source of your strength." Reverend Al Sharpton eulogizing Tyree Nichols with strong words against those 5 Memphis police officers.
In the city that Dr. King lost his life, not far away from that balcony, you beat a brother to death.
Both Harris and Sharpton calling on Congress to pass the George Floyd Justice in Policing Act, which calls for comprehensive police reform.
Representative Sheila Jackson Lee says she will reintroduce that bill right after the State of the Union. If it passes, that is the change Tyree Nichols' family is looking for. Michael.
All right.
This is so sad. This is so sad. Yeah, because him and that gray perm, like, he is not needed. I'm so sick. Right. Thank you. Shut up. Girl, shut up. Girl, I'm so sick of these wannabes. Al ain't did nothing but lived off of black people pain for years, decades. That's all he done. He ain't, Sharpton ain't changing. Sharpton ain't changing. It's that simple. Like, no, like, I be so sick of them. Go sit your old ass down. You ain't gonna stop nothing, change nothing, nothing, because it's the only time we see y'all. Like, there's plenty of things going on. Plenty of lives being taken, but the national ones, here come Al. And no, go sit down. Go away. Go away. Like, this is a clout chase. You just so happen to be where all the cameras at. Like, I can't. Sharpton, go away. You do nothing for us. You do nothing for us. You are a part of the billions, the millions. That's all. That's it. You're not a voice for us. You don't help us. You don't assist us. There's been causes that you have been behind, but you have changed nothing. You have not. There are many men in history for actually making changes in the Black community, whether it's them giving us hope or rather it's them giving us a sense of peace, a sense of being able to stand on our own and fight for ourselves. And that was Malcolm X and Martin Luther King. Everybody else could go sit down somewhere and just keep advocating just like all the rest of us. That's it. Those have been the only two strong Black presences that have actually made people believe because of what they did. What they did, they stood out. You stand out because you have a perm. Like, that's it. Like, people talk more about your perm than the justices that you do. Like, the people that you actually help. Like, cut it out, bottom feeder. Like, yeah, stop feeding off of our pain. It's gross. You don't even see these same people when good things are happening with Black people. When the how old was she? 14? Brilliant little Black girl is a genius, already in college. She was on the news, all of that. Where was Sharpton? Or do you only come when we're in agony? Do you only come to profit off of our pain? Because you didn't come there for free. And then anything else you do, you're going to want to be paid for that too. Sharpton and people like him are false hope. They're not real hope. They've been around for too long to not have made changes. The ones that were making real change, they killed them. Let's keep it real. That's why they took Malcolm. That's why they took Martin. Like that, because they were actually they made us open our minds. They made us think differently. Rather, they were doing things behind closed doors. Oh, well, everybody human. But the dream is still real. Malcolm telling us to protect ourselves, that's still real. Very so much. The Black Lives Matter cause is still real. I don't care what they did with the money. Oh, well, I ain't send them none, no way. So I'm like, ooh, what do people got a problem with? How much money did you send them? Oh, none? Then what you mad at? What they take your money and do? Oh, nothing? Shut up. Shut up. You just want to talk because it's popular opinion. But the Black Lives Matter cause still very so much stands because Black lives do matter. I don't care about what they did with that money. So what? That lesbian and her wife, they're going to pay for what they did. They're going to pay for it. But the cause is very so much real. Like people try to bring up, oh, Martin Luther King was sleeping with white girls and all this stuff. So what? The cause was very so much still real. What the person does behind closed doors, it's not our business. And it doesn't impact the presence that they brought. It does not. Martin Luther King was still a good man. There was a lot of people in the community that definitely looked up to him. He did a lot for the community. He did more action than talking. But then you guys start to want to come forward and talk. What are you changing? Oh, nothing? Then go away. You shouldn't be up here saying nothing. You've been around too long for things to not be better. And if they are better, you're not the reason. You only come around when we are in misery, when Black people are mourning, when they're going through a tragedy. Here you come. So you can write a book and all of that stuff about, no, stop profiting off of people's pain. Like, just be there for them. That's it. You could have just been somebody in the crowd. You could have been somebody that just attended the funeral. That would have been fine. Why you got to be on stage? For what? You don't know Tyree, you didn't. And you don't know his damn family. You could care less about these people. Because you done spoke at plenty of other Black events and those families ain't seen or heard from you since. So stop it. Like, I'm over it. Like I'm not about to be fake because he's supposed to represent something. He's not. Here, flip. We are the people. We have the power. We change things. We do that. Like, we are the heroes. We got to stop waiting for one, looking for one, because they not it. They not. We got to save ourselves. Told you the only savior I'm waiting for is the Lord. If Black people all want to get together and unite, y'all want to move to the ocean and build our own lands and all this, I'm going to be right down there with y'all. Y'all want to build a big gate so nobody can get in. It's just us. Let's do it. I'm going to be right there supporting it. Y'all want to protest? Let's protest. Like, whatever y'all want, let's do it. Because we, the people, change things. We the people get these people off the street apprehended. We the people get justice. Not no owls. None of them. None of them. They don't get us justice. They don't do none of that stuff. They just come profit off of it. That's all that were. Like, yeah, over it. Like, yeah, leave us alone. Let that family grieve. Like, you coming there ain't gonna bring Tyree back. You coming here over here talking into this microphone saying the last shit that you've been saying for the last 60 years with no change. You can shut the hell up. You can shut all the way up. We don't need to hear nothing from Al. Shut up. Like, ugh. Like, we're over it. Like, y'all don't do nothing but show up. And then y'all leave. And y'all and wait for the next tragedy. So y'all can show up to that too. And his old ass ain't in those streets protesting. He ain't riding with us. He ain't looting with us. He ain't steal nothing out of Target. And none of that stuff like we was in there doing. He wasn't tearing up the malls and stuff. He wasn't doing none of that with us. But then when it's time to try to calm people down, who is he? Where his car? Because we could say, where his car at? Because we could all 4 tires on flat. We could bust all his ones. Who is he? He with y'all. The Memphis Police Department called Al, not the family, not the Nichols family. Like, hair flip. Like, yeah, let's not do that. Like, let's not. White people called Al. Them black people didn't call him. No. The niggas, they don't even know him. They don't even know him. Al is damage control for the police department for Memphis. Let's get Al down here to talk to these blacks so they won't run around and run them up. Who the hell is he? No, we still tearing up Walmart as soon as we leave here. No, you try. No, y'all better close tomorrow early. Because as far as we concerned, like, you know, y'all tried it. So it's just like, That's why they're trying to hurry up and apprehend these men and charge them and all this because they don't want us to run them up. So let's get Al down here. You know we'll pass. His old ass could have stayed at home. Whatever day nap he was taking, he could have kept taking it and just attended the funeral and been in the crowd with gray old permed hair and then left. Paid his condolences and walked out. And no need for him to get up there for what? What is he trying? What he do? Did the NAACP do what they've done? Or since he's affiliated with them, is it him? No, it's the NAACP. You're just working with them. You tried. Here, flip. Like, yeah, that's what we're not about to do. I have to get out of here because I'm telling y'all, these type of situations really upset me. Really upset me. Like, I really get mad. I really do. Because it's just, I'll just be so over it. Like, stop going to find people to talk for us and lead us as a community. We as a community need to do it ourselves. That is a problem. We keep giving people power and control over us when we need to do it ourselves. Because that's what it ultimately, what happens anyway. It's us doing it ourselves. These people ain't giving us justice. We have to force their hand. So, I mean, we've been doing that, and we've been doing that as a community. Like, oh, sorry, that was super sick I was trying to get to. But shout out to Dot. She said the enemy is the community. Pay attention. The enemy is in the community. Pay attention. Big Dot. So it's like, yeah, you got to watch these people that be trying to come as Captain Save Us and the whole time be the op. And that is exactly what Al Sharpton gives. He don't give what he has done for the community. What have you done for the community that the community ain't did they self? You've protested before. So have we. You've written letters to certain people before. So have we. Like, what has he done? What? Like, ugh. And that is what gets me. Shout out to hold on, there's one. Shout out to, I missed the other super sticker. I'm so sorry. Shout out to T's, a work in progress. She says, for making me laugh and having a bad morning. Oh, I'm sorry if you're having a bad morning. But yeah, I'm just, girl, thank you for the super sticker. Thank you so much. I'm just annoyed. And part two that we're gonna do later, we're gonna get way more in depth. with this. I just wanted to get people kind of caught up on from the people that watch me. I know he's been discussed, Tyree's been discussed a lot of other places, but we haven't discussed him. So I just wanted to do a quick little opening for this. And thank y'all so much for the super stickers. Remember, you always, I think I have a PayPal because y'all be telling me to get a PayPal. I think I do. I'm not sure, but I do have a Cash App. So remember, I love you guys. So yeah, so he admitted to being an agent, right? Shout out to the little one. I am so 824, and he's still showing up places. Like, no, you need to go sit down. Like you tried. Like, yeah, no. But yeah, I have to get out here. I have to go pick up my baby. And I got to be there in 15 minutes. So, okay, I got to go get my son. But I will be back later, and I won't be rushed because they'll all be here. So I'll just, be able to chill, and we'll just, so the next live will be a lot longer. So justice for Tyree Nichols. Shout out to the Nichols family. Super, 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 super sad case. But we will be back later. I love you all. Make sure you like and subscribe if you haven't already. But we will be back. Yes, absolutely.